everybody. Welcome to live streaming yoga class. Really glad we could be together today in this way. All right, so sitting up, take a moment to just listen to the sound of the bell and feel your breathing during the time that you hear the bell ringing. So taking just this moment to get settled. Make sure there's some text here. Okay. You can sit up on a blanket if you have one. The other props you might like to have with you are yoga blocks and a strap. And if you have neither, no worries. If you have none of those, no worries. But let's just take a moment here to get centered. You can pull back the flesh under the sit bones and use the press of the hands to get a little more grounded in your seat. Roll the shoulders back and elevate the heart. Lengthen the neck. And gently shift the weight from the hands to your seat. Rest the hands on the legs, letting the elbows relax in at the sides of the waist. Maybe close the thumb and forefingers. Relax the eyes. Relax the hinge of the jaw and the tongue. Open the back of the throat and let the belly relax. Let the breath flow naturally to start. Now take a few deeper, fuller breaths. Slow on the inhalation and slow on the exhalation. Let everything slow down inside. And if it's comfortable, start to shift the ratio of your inhales and exhales so that the breath in is a little bit shorter and the exhales are longer and stronger. Maybe to where they're twice as long. The exhales are twice as long as your inhales. Take 5 rounds of the shortened inhalation and the longer, slower, more complete exhalation. Getting all the stale air out of the lungs and calming the mind. No hurry. And wherever you are in your count, take one more round. And after that last exhalation, let your breathing return to its natural rhythm. If the eyes are closed, open the lids with a few blinks. And let's come up to stand. We'll take a little bit of Bhastrika breathing. If you feel at all dizzy or lightheaded during the practice, discontinue. Reach the arms up, and on an exhale, you'll bend the legs and pull the elbows down with a strong, forceful exhalation. Breathing in, the arms come up. Breathing out. That's 10. We'll take 30. And let that go. Taking a few natural breaths. And now we'll take the breath of joy. So breathing in, the arms swing forward. Breathing in again, the arms come down and out. Breathing in again, the arms come down and up. And you breathe out and come down. So let's breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. In, in, in. In, in, in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming on up, take your feet wider, swing side to side, letting the arms hit against you like empty coat sleeves. Imagine a cord from the crown of the head drawing up towards the ceiling. Relaxing that, we'll take one more listening exercise. Take the feet wide, take the arms out, lifting the sides of the chest with the reach of the arms. Breathe in, breathe out, touch the opposite outer leg or foot. Breathe in, come up, breathe out to the other side. Starting more slowly. And building towards faster. Going to your maximum. And slowing it down. Slowing it down. And relaxing that. All right, we'll take a few rounds of Surya Namaskar and associated continued warm-ups. So if you have blocks, put them on either side of the front edge of your mat. Outer edges of the feet parallel to one another. And as you breathe in at hip width, spread the toes, feeling the floor with the soles of the feet, and bring the palms together with the thumbs by the heart. Breathing in, take the arms down, out, and up, lengthening up the sides with the reach of the arms. Breathe out, forward fold with heels light. As you breathe in, push the blocks, floor, or legs away, lifting the head and the heart to elongate the spine. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, lighten the heels, sweep the arms out and up. And breathe out, open out the arms and relax them back down to the sides, palms together. Spread the toes and breathe in, arms down, out, and up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, push away and elongate. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, light heels, sweep the arms out and up. Breathe out, open out the arms, relaxing them down and bring the palms together. Spread the toes again. And breathe in, this time, arms down, out, and up. Breathe out, forward fold, heels light. Breathe in, push away, and elongate the spine. Breathe out, hands flat on the ground. Step back, right foot, then the left. Lift from the roots of the thighs. Lift from the base of the skull and melt the space between the shoulder blades down. Harden the toes and come well forward until the weight is at the base of the fingers. And it feels like your hips are over your hands in plank pose. And come down into Chaturanga Dandasana with a 90-degree angle between the forearm and the upper arm and the shoulders neutral. Then point the toes, swing the hips forward towards the back of the wrists, pressing the floor away with the backs of the arms, and lifting the roots of the thighs to stream energy through the legs into the tops of the feet. Breathe out, go back over the toes and pull the hips up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Take a moment here to shift the weight forward into the base of the fingers again, especially the index fingers, and hook the elbow creases in and forward a little bit, pressing out from the armpits and drawing the sit bones up and back, tuning in again to those more complete exhales. Then look between the hands and walk the feet forward. Pushing blocks, floor, or legs away, lift and lengthen the spine. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, light heels, sweep the arms out and up, lengthening up the sides. Breathe out, open out the arms and bring the palms together with the thumbs by the heart. Spread the toes. And breathe in, take the arms down, out, and up. Breathe out, hinge from the hips. Breathe in, push away, and elongate. Breathe out, step back, left foot, then right. Again, melting the space between the shoulder blades, hardening the toes, coming forward, lifting from the base of the skull, come down. Toes back, hips forward, heart up, breathe in. Breathe out, back over the toes into downward facing dog pose. Let's come down onto the knees and step forward with the right foot, keeping it hip width from the back knee. Lean the hips forward and down so the front knee comes directly over the heel. Spread the right toes, push the floor down with the right lower leg, and draw in and up from the pelvic floor and the belly. Stomp down with the right lower leg so you can just float the arms up. Imagine taking off that big baggy sweater and just throwing it up there. Then lower the hands to the blocks or to the floor, pushing them down. Curl the back toes, lift the root of the left thigh so that you can stick that back leg, bringing the back of the front knee forward and the left inner heel back. I have long arms, so I'm not going to use them. Now keep pushing down into the hands and elongating the spine with the press of the hands, and then start to straighten your front leg, but keep elongating the spine by pressing out through your palms or pressing out through tented fingertips. Drop the outer right hip. Ground into the ball of the right big toe to keep that leg from rolling out. Elongating the spine and pushing the mat backwards with the ball of your left foot. Pushing the mat forward with the right foot. Plant the palms down and step back into a three-legged dog with your right leg raised up. Pumping up the left hip, bring more belly over your left leg and bring the right chest forward, descending the chest towards your left thigh. And bring the heart forward and up over the hands. Take the right leg underneath the body, flex the foot in like a push broom, just push it to the side so you come down onto your outer right hip. Come onto the forearms and move your back foot to the left until it's directly behind your left shoulder. And you can curl the toes, lift the knee, pick up your right hip and move it back a little bit. Now move your left forearm to the right and put your right hand under the right shoulder. Pull back with that back leg. Let your belly belong to the pull of that back leg. And then press with the left forearm and the right hand to turn the ribs to the right, lengthening and turning. Again, the belly drawing in and back towards the back body. And anyone who wants a little more stretch can either put the forehead on a block or can even come down onto the left side of the head. Take the right hand on top of the left, but if you take this, you have to pick up your right hip and move it back again, and use the press of the palms to turn in Dying Warrior. And you're breathing into this twist. Strong back leg pulling back. Hands down under the shoulders. Press the floor down. Get purchased with the ball of your back foot, and extend the right leg up and back into your three-legged dog again. And bring the heart forward and up over the hands. Melt the space between the shoulder blades. Toes back, hips forward, heart up. Breathe in, breathe out, and come back over the toes into your downward facing dog pose. Elongating the spine, pressing out. Rolling the navel towards the roots of the thighs and taking the sit bones up and back to get length through your lower spine. Breathing. Now bring the right foot a little closer to the midline and raise the left leg. Pumping up the right hip and rolling your belly towards the root of the right thigh, bringing your left chest forward that little bit in your three-legged dog. And bring the left foot forward between the hands. Hip width from the back foot. Lower the right knee down. Lean the hips forward and down towards that back heel. Press the floor down with your fingertips or prop them up on blocks and pull the heart forward over the left thigh. Now stomp down with the left lower leg like you're stepping on something, or you're going to stand up onto that front foot, but instead float the arms up, giving something away and breathing. Then hands down, curl the back toes, lift the back knee, lift the root of the right thigh until you can stick that right leg. Just a little bit of forward tip of the hips will let you get strong through that back leg. And then push the floor down with tented fingertips or prop them up on blocks. And let your collarbones shine forward like headlights towards the front of your mat. And then as you push down into the tented fingertips or onto the blocks, onto the floor, pull the hips back. Dropping the outer left hip and taking your heart forward to elongate the spine and letting the breath flow, finding the ease and the stability that's available in every posture. And plant the palms down and step back to that three-legged dog again, pumping up the right hip, left chest forward. Bring the heart forward over the hands and take the left leg underneath you. Flex the foot. You're on the outer foot. Just push it forward until, like a push broom, sweeping your floor, come onto your outer left hip, come onto the forearms, and move the back foot a little closer to the right side of the mat until you can curl the toes, lift the knee, and plug back, picking up your left hip, pull it back a little bit to drop your outer left hip and lengthen your left waist. Then bring the right forearm to the left. Put the left hand under the left shoulder and press down with the forearm on the hand. Draw your belly in and use the press of the forearm and the hand to wriggle out length through your spine. Drawing back with your right back leg. And staying here, or maybe taking the right arm between the left hand and hip, come onto the right side of the head. Stack the left hand on the right with your left elbow lifted so you can turn your upper back, dropping the back right ribs and bringing your left front ribs up, dragging back with the back leg and the back foot, and breathing. And hands down under the shoulders. Get purchased with that back foot. Press down and extend back. Last time, three-legged dog. Bring the left foot to meet the right foot. Bring the heart forward and up over the hands. Melt the space between the shoulder blades. Come down, toes back, hips forward, heart up. Breathing in and breathing out into your last downward facing dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthening out. Pressing the floor away, and maybe lifting from the back of the ears to take that front angle from the hips to the hands up a little bit until your belly sucks in into that mild Uddiyana Bandha, that fly-up block. Sucks the belly in a little. Now you can either walk the feet to the hands or bend the knees, look forward, and hop the feet forward. As you breathe in, push blocks, floor, or legs away, lengthening the spine. Breathe out, forward fold. As you breathe in, lighten the heels, sweep the arms out and up. And breathe out, open out the arms, relaxing them back down to the sides. Bringing the palms together and feeling the floor with the soles of the feet, spread the toes. So relax the arms to the sides. Feet hip width, outer edges of the feet parallel to one another. As you breathe in, take the right arm out. As you breathe out, bring the right arm up. Breathe in and lift up from your belly. Breathe out over to the left. You can take the roots of the thighs back until your belly sucks in, and you can push the floor away with your legs and your feet and lift the heart to elongate into your side stretch, Ardha Kati Chakrasana. Extend down into the right leg and foot, and as you breathe in, reach up for something, and breathe out, lower the right arm. Spread the toes and breathe in, take the left arm out. Breathe out, bring the left arm up. Breathe in and wriggle up more length. Breathe out over to the right. Extending down into the left leg and foot. Again, like a gymnast, taking the roots of the thighs back to stick the legs and then lift up, lengthening the spine in your side stretch. You can slide the right hand down the right leg and extend into your left leg and foot, letting the breath flow freely. And breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, open out the left arm. Interlace the hands behind the back or put a strap between the hands. Lifting the arms away from the back or use interlaced fingers. Breathe in and breathe out, feet hip width, lighten the heels and hinge forward from the hips using the lift of the head to keep your upper spine lifted as long as you can. At some point, release the base of the skull down and lift the arms again. Notice where the weight is on the soles of the feet and see if you can evenly distribute the weight between the press of the ball of the big toe and the outer edges of your feet. Lower the hands to the back and towards the floor. Now draw in and up from the pelvic floor and the belly. Sit the hips down towards the level of the knees. And then drawing in and up from the pelvic floor and the belly again, imagine you're holding the bottom of a big basket. Sitting down, push from the thighs into the soles of the feet and pick up that basket, placing it up on a shelf. So you draw up the whole front body with the reach of the arms. Again, you're throwing up that big baggy sweater, you're throwing up confetti, and then you sit back like you're skiing, leaning into the big toe sides of the feet and stretching up from your armpits. Breathing in Utkatasana chair pose, extending into the tips of your fingers, especially the third and fourth. Breathe in, press through the legs, start to come up, and breathe out, bring the palms together with the thumbs by the heart. Spread the toes again and take the hands to the lower back for Ardha Chakrasana, half wheel pose. Soft knees, take the elbows back, and see if you can push off your legs and lift up from behind the heart, opening back. And taking a few breaths here. Then breathe in and lift from the back of the heart. Breathe out, come all the way up. Relax the arms. Now step the feet apart, and if you have blocks, you can put them behind your heels. We'll take Trikonasana triangle pose. Turn the right foot out, turn the left foot in with the heels lined up, and use the outer edge of the left foot and the ball of the right foot to roll your belly towards the right thigh. Take the right arm up to the side of the head and use the press of the legs and the reach of that arm to elongate the spine. Breathe in, breathe out, lengthen out. Keep pressing the floor away with the legs and the feet, reaching, and when you've gotten all your reach, put the hand against the leg. You can put the block by the big toe side of the foot at whatever height works. Push down and let the chest rise right back up. Get that rebound action. Roll your belly down. Pull the outer right hip back and lean the shoulders back out over that leg. And then turn the ribs, belly down, ribs up. Draw up from your left elbow. And now press out through the legs and the feet and lengthen the spine. Take your heart towards your head, bringing your back right ribs down and your left front chest up, drawing up into the back of your left hand. And breathing. Now lighten that bottom hand, breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up, the shoulders are relaxed, the sides of the chest are lifted, spark plugs of the heart coming out. Lower the arms and turn the feet. You can take your block out of the way if it's in your way. Heels lined up, imagine your legs like straws, sucking water up the straws, left arm up. Breathe in and breathe out, hinge out from the hips. Propping up the hand, pushing against the leg or the block, belly down, outer left hip back. Leaning out over that leg with the backs of the shoulders and turning the ribs. You can even reach the right hand back and hold the root of the right thigh to keep your belly rolling down, but then turning the ribs up and elongating the spine with the press of the legs and the push of that left hand. And taking the right arm up and leading from the right elbow. Now, nod the head, get the neck lined up, turning the ribs almost like you would spiral your heart up, like you would sunbathe in the sun. Breathing. And lightening that bottom hand, breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up, again checking that you have kept your shoulders neutral. Lower the arms. And turn the feet. We'll take Virabhadrasana 2 into Parsvakonasana side angle pose. So bend the right knee, stopping the knee over the heel, and pushing weight into the back foot. So that right knee is directly over the heel, not over your toes. And then draw up a little bit through your right hip. So you're making a little space here as you extend through your back leg That'll drive your outer left hip in. And as you push weight into that left foot, take the arms out and let your ribs revolve from right to left until you can pull the top of the left shoulder away from the side of the neck and you're grounded right over your center. Belly rolls right, ribs roll left, drawing out, think spark plugs of the heart, maybe palms up and then palms down. And as you push weight into your left foot, turn the head to look over the right fingertips. Taking a few breaths here, feeling the strength and stability of the pose and that lightheartedness. Then turn the gaze back towards center, hinge out from the hips, and if your feet are quite close, you'll put your hand against your legs, so you get one angle through the left side. If your feet are further, you can come onto your elbow by dropping the hips lower. And you could also put a block under your right hand or put your hand on the ground, feet wider, you drop the hips lower. But whatever you've got there, it's supportive to drop your hips and push out against the elbow or the hand and elongate the spine. Take the back arm down, forward, up to the side of the head, make a fist, bend your back leg, and come up in your one angle, not two, but one angle. Roll your belly down, pull the outer right hip back, and then use the press of the elbow or hand to turn the ribs, extending back and reaching out with the arm and breathing. Now let's take that left arm up. Pull your outer right hip back to straighten your right leg. Keep pushing the floor away or the leg away or the block away with the right hand. Belly down, ribs up. Turning the ribs. And then bending the right knee and reaching up and over. One more time into your side angle pose, Parsva Konasana. Now keep your legs in this shape and pinwheel the arms back. See if you can find Virabhadrasana 2 for just another moment. Then breathe in, start to straighten. Breathe out, straighten all the way. Holding the sides of the waist or moving your block. And turn the feet to the left. Spread the toes for second side, Virabhadrasana 2, second warrior pose. Bend the left leg, stopping the knee over the heel and pushing weight into the back foot. Again, pulling up the front of the left hip, leaning the back hip in and extending through the back leg. Belly rolls left, arms open up, and you open the right cover of a book. That's like opening the right chest, is just like opening the right cover of a book. So your shoulders are neutral. And as you push weight into your right foot, turn the head, taking a few breaths here. Then turning the gaze back to center so the neck lines up with the rest of the spine. Hinge out from the hips and place the elbow down or the hand down, dropping the hips, lengthening the spine with the press of the hand or elbow, turning the ribs, belly down, ribs up. Take the back arm down, forward, stop at the side of the head, and extend out, breathing and lengthening. Now keeping the legs in this shape, opening back out, opening the right chest. Oops, we forgot. Let's come into triangle pose again, pushing the block away, pushing the leg away, pulling the outer left hip back, and turning to find that same action, belly down, outer left hip back, pressing off the left hand and turning the ribs. And then one more time, bending the left knee, reaching up and over into Parsva Konasana side angle pose. And maintaining this leg position, pinwheel the arms back and find your Virabhadrasana 2 one more time. And breathe in, start to straighten. Breathe out, straighten all the way. Hold the sides and turn the feet so that the outer edges of your feet are parallel to one another. Spread the toes and take the thumbs to the sacral dimples, those flat bones on your lower back. Take the elbows back, take the thumbs down, breathe in, lift the belly, and breathe out, hinge out from the hips with light heels. Take the hands down, release the base of the skull down, using the press of the hands to descend the chest towards the thighs and elevating the sit bones. Breathing. Take the hands forward, maybe propping them up on blocks. Push the floor down, let the chest rise right back up, long spine. Bend one knee, and then the other. Stretching the inner legs. Dropping the hips towards the heel, and going side to side. And straightening both legs, moving the feet a little closer. Lighten the heels and hold the hips. Take the head and heart forward. Breathe in, push off the balls of the feet, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. Walk the feet in. We'll take a few balance poses here. So if you'd like to go near a wall, please feel free. Or you can bring over a chair and hold a chair back. Then choose which foot you'd like to balance on first and spread the toes of that foot. Shift the center of gravity over. And we'll start with Vrikshasana tree pose. So turn your left leg out, kickstanding the foot or bringing the foot somewhere up, higher up the leg. Take your outer hip of the standing leg towards the raised knee. Bring the palms together, heart lifted up towards the thumb. Settling the gaze at one spot and breathing freely, breathing naturally. And taking the arms up. Lengthening up the sides with the reach of the arms. Lower the same hand as leg. And hold the foot for Nadarajasana, pose of fearlessness. Bringing the raised knee towards the standing knee and holding from the outer foot or from the inner foot. Take the raised arm forward, pressing the palm forward and staying here, or those who'd like to can kick the back foot into the hand, opening that back knee like opening a jaw, dropping that raised knee down and rolling your belly towards the root of the standing leg. Adding a forward fold if you like. Breathing in, start to come up. Breathe out, come all the way up. And then take that raised leg and wrap it around your standing leg, bending the standing knee strongly and touching the outer shins, touching that toe towards the floor, or maybe slipping the foot behind the standing lower leg. Whichever leg is wrapped on top, take the opposite arm on top, crossing above the elbows and maybe palms together, taking from the armpits to the underside of the elbows coming forward, inner wrists forward, and breathing naturally in Garudanasana, eagle pose. And bringing the raised foot to meet the standing foot, breathe in, sweep the arms out and up. And breathe out, opening out the arms and relaxing them back down to the sides. Now one foot and leg will be a little tired, so you can shake out the legs. And whichever leg you were standing on, you'll know you'll be more tired. Switch to the other foot and spread the toes, shifting your center of gravity over and imagining you're pulling up a stocking or you're pulling on a pair of pants way up high to draw in and up and find that balance. Kickstanding the other foot, turning the leg out, or bringing the foot somewhere higher up the leg. And again, pushing the foot into the leg, but pushing the inner leg back into the foot. Palms together in Vrikshasana tree pose. Sensing the breath, steady gaze. And taking the arms up, lengthening up the sides. Palms can be open or closed. You choose, whatever gives you that length, enough to relax the neck. And whichever is the raised leg, lower that arm, holding the outer or the inner edge of the foot and dropping that raised knee in towards the standing knee, squaring the back of the hips and turning the raised palm forward. Lift the heart, breathing and staying here in this variation of Nadarajasana pose of fearlessness, or kicking the foot, the raised leg foot, into the hand, opening that knee, rolling the belly towards the root of the right thigh, or standing thigh, I should say, and then adding the forward fold if you like. Breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. And then bending the standing leg and taking that raised leg over the standing leg and wrapping the foot behind that lower leg or touching the toes towards the floor. Taking whichever leg is on top, other arm comes on top, wrapping the arms higher than the elbows, palms together, drawing out armpits to the underside of the elbows, inner wrists forward, breathing, stable, grounded, centered. Now unfold the legs, bring the raised foot to meet the standing foot, breathe in, sweep the arms out and up. And breathe out, open out the arms, relaxing them back down to the sides. Okay, let's come down onto the belly. Bring the forehead to the floor. Curl the toes of one foot, lift that knee and pull back, pointing the toe, and same thing on the second side. So you almost get longer legs. Then bring the hands out underneath the elbows so that your forearms are vertical, and turn tented fingertips in so the fingertips face the chest. Press into tented fingertips with your head hanging forward and lift the chest a little bit so the inner edges of your shoulder blades draw in towards one another. Like a slinky cobra, taking a few breaths here. Then lower the forehead down and bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Stream energy through the legs into the tops of the feet and raise the head, the chest, and the hands, remembering that slinky spider, and coiling the chest. And then pressing into the palms and coming up. You can stay on your forearms in Sphinx pose, pressing the floor down and back with the drag of the forearms, or hands a little closer to the hips in Bhujangasana Cobra pose. Letting the shoulder blades slide down the back by bending the elbow and drawing down from the backs of the shoulders to the backs of the elbows. And then press into the feet, pull the back of the heart forward, taking a few breaths here. And then lowering down and coming onto the side of the head. Let the arms relax out, let the heels roll out. Breathing into the lower back. And bring the forehead down. Interlace the fingers behind the back or use a strap between the hands. Lift the arms away from the back to open the front of the shoulders. Stream energy through the legs and the feet. Raise the head and the chest. Raise the arms. And raise the legs as well. in now asana boat pose. Try not to jam the chin forward. Feel the length of the neck from the top of the back to the base of the skull, and find a relaxed way of approaching now asana boat pose, a relaxed effort. And lowering down onto the other side of the head, let the arms and the heels roll out, breathing into the lower back. Now prop up the chest with the forearms and turn the left forearm 90 degrees, slightly in front of the shoulders. Fold the right lower leg, reaching back to hold the foot. If you can't reach, come onto your side, pull the knee a little forward. If you can reach, bring that bent knee in towards the extended leg, lean into the front of the right hip, and as you bring the heel back towards that hip, slide the knee back. So you're trying to keep that hip from popping up as you roll the belly to the left with the press of the left forearm. And take a few breaths. And release. Second side, replace the left forearm with the right. Fold the left lower leg. Left knee joins the right. Bring that left heel in towards the back of the hip, sliding the knee back. And use the press of the right forearm to roll the belly to the left, to the right, excuse me. Maybe the chest to the right, it's more accurate. And release. Let's reach back and hold both feet. Now, if this isn't accessible, then come onto your forearms. Tuck the elbows in so they're only spaced as wide as your armpits, and press down and back with the forearms to pull the back of the heart forward and drop the front of the hips, moving the feet apart until your thighs feel straight up and down and staying here. Or, again, those who'd like to hold the outer feet for Dhanurasana bow pose, come onto the chin, then raise the head and roll the shoulders back. Push the feet into the hands, letting the straightening action of the legs open the front of the shoulders. Try again not to jam the chin forward. Breathing into the abdominopelvic region, and maybe rocking. And settling down. And those who'd like to can even try bringing both heels in towards the back of the hips for just one more little stretch. This is a pose called Mandukasana or Bekasana, frog pose. And then release. Stack the hands, rest the forehead on the top hand, let the heels roll away from one another, breathing into the belly. And forehead down, hands under the shoulders, breathe in, lift the hips, breathe out, sit back down on the heels, in Adho Mukha Virasana or Balasana, child's pose, or downward facing hero pose. And the head drop in towards the knees, let the eyes soften, feeling the breath in the sides of the waist and the lower back. Walk the hands back towards the knees. Lift the head and the heart. Breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. We'll take Marityasana, 3. So you can have height underneath your hips if you like. So you're falling forward over the front edge to bring the bottom of your hips up and back and the top of your hips forward. Bend the right leg, pulling the heel back towards the hip at hip width from your left leg. Interlace the fingers, pull against that shin and climb the heart up. Take the right hand behind the back, push down, take the left arm up, And breathe in, get as much length as you can, like you'd stand up on that right foot. Breathe in, breathe out, either hug that knee to turn your belly towards that leg, or hook the arm over. Then push the knee into the arm to drop that right hip, and then push off that back hand, let your head bob up. Walk the back hand back, press the back of the left knee down, and imagine the crown of the head drawing up towards the ceiling again. Relaxing the belly and breathing way down low in your body. And release. Right leg comes forward. The left heel pulls back. Switch the interlace of the fingers, pull against that shin and climb the heart up. Left hand back, right arm up. Breathe in, pull up from the belly. Breathe out, either hook the arm over or hug the knee. And if the arm is over, don't let the arm boss the knee. Let the knee be strong and push against that right arm to turn you back. Walk the back hand back. And again, awareness in the right foot, pressing the back of the right knee down. And breathing, letting the pose be breathed. Release. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. For some of us, that doesn't work so well to be on height. But you want to be sitting on your sit bones and not back behind your sit bones. So you take the hands behind the hips, get as much height as you need, and roll the shoulders back. Push the floor down with tented fingertips or the palms, and pull up an imaginary blanket from your lower belly towards your shins. Now take the inner thighs out towards the inner knees, breathing. And then holding on to the feet, pulling against the feet, drawing in and up from the pelvic floor and the belly, and taking the back of the heart forward. And coming down over the legs. Let your belly relax and breathe. Breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out all the way up. Pull up the knees. And our last pose before Shavasana is to either take Viparita Karani, inverted staff pose, lifting up the hips and putting 1 or 2 blocks under the hips. If you don't have blocks, just take the legs up. Tuck the shoulder blades under, press into the back of the head, knees up, legs up. And I'm not going to do it, but you could also work without blocks and hold your own back, getting your elbows in close. So you're not working with blocks. In Sarvangasana shoulder stand, holding your hips in your hand and walking your hands towards your shoulder blades, but pressing back with the head and lifting from behind the heart. Whatever pose you're in, feel the fluids draining down from the feet and the lower extremities to pull in the pelvis and make their way back towards the base of the throat, the thyroid. If you're in shoulder stand, you can lower the legs back behind the head in Halasana plow pose. And slowly let the legs drag across the chest as you roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Arms can be back behind the head or behind the back, you choose. If you're in Viparita Karani, you can bring the knees into the chest, the feet to the floor. If you have height under your hips, lift the hips, take the height out, and lower the hips down. If you'd like any last poses to feel comfortable for the closing relaxation, please take that now. And if you're comfortable, let the arms and the legs roll out. Let the eyes close if that's comfortable for you. Quiet the muscles behind the face and behind the eyes. Let the fingertips curl gently. Open throat. Belly relaxed. Let the breath flow freely. And when you notice the attention drift to the flow of the thoughts and away from the experience of the breath, that's wonderful noticing. Shift the attention back to the feeling as the breath flows in and out. Slowly roll to the side. As you're ready, press up to sit, cross-legged. Take your time. Reach behind the back. Hold the right wrist. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower the head, lower than the heart. Raise the head. Namaste. So nice you could be with me this morning in my yoga studio. Hope to see you again next week.